Samsung's newest display technology is already in the market, and that is QD-OLED. But of course, LG is working on something of their own, and that is OLED-EX. So, what are the differences? Hi, welcome to Zgadgetreview. We have a battle brewing between Samsung and LG for OLED technology supremacy. I guess we could throw Sony in there, but Sony doesn't make their own displays, so let's just keep it between Samsung and LG. We have LG right now being the king of OLED TV technology, and then we have Samsung, which just entered the OLED tech thread with their QD-OLED technology. And of course, so far QD-OLED has received rave reviews across the board when it comes to how bright and colorful that displays are. So that means that LG is kind of staying behind. In a way, they can't even catch up with their new OLED Evo technology, which pales in comparison with the brightness you can get from a QD-OLED display. Well, LG isn't going to just sit around and watch Samsung take the crown, right? And so they announced, I will say beginning of the year, late December, their new OLED-EX technology. LG's OLED-EX is supposed to unlock brightness and color accuracy on the display. So these TVs, OLED-EX, are supposed to be brighter than even that Evo technology did when it first came out, which is interesting to see how new Evo technology is and how quickly is, being displaced by QD-OLED and now OLED-EX. So how did LG do this? Well, LG has been able to extract deuterium from water in order to apply it to organic light emitting devices, in this case OLED. When stabilized, the deuterium compounds allow the display to emit brighter light while maintaining high efficiency for a long time. It's going to boost the color without distorting the image on the TV. It is also going to use AI and different software algorithms to tailor that image based on how you use the TV. The new OLED-EX TVs are supposed to give you a 30% increase in brightness, and also is supposed to make the bezels on the displays smaller. So the display is going to go from a 6mm thick bezel to a 4mm thick bezel. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you measure it all around, it gives you a little more image than what you get currently with a LG display. LG in their OLED TVs, they use what is technically called WOLED technology, and that's a sheet of white light passing through different color filters in order to give you the red, green, and blue colors that make the colors on a TV. Of course, this is a kind of simplified explanation of how these things work, right? What that does, because you have technically a white light with sandwich layers on top of it, that light is, let's say, darkened because you cannot pass as much light through those filters. OLED, what is really good at reproducing colors and the images and giving you that darkest blacks that you can get on a TV, it also has the issues that a lot of people complain that it doesn't get as bright as LED, which is true. And one of the reasons is that it's the way the technology is made. So this OLED-EX is supposed to fix that and give you a brighter image by using this new chemical on the screen. Now QD-OLED works different, which is why it's so much brighter and colorful than OLED is. So what Samsung does is they use a blue light that goes through the quantum dots. And of course, they don't use the white light that LG does, so you don't have to have those color filters on top of the blue light. Now, blue light is used because it has the strongest light energy. This gives you greater light energy efficiency because you're not losing any of the light through the color filters as you do with WOLED technology, which is what happens with LG OLED TVs. Now, the burning issue does not disappear with QD-OLED. Technically, the burning issue with QD-OLED should be lessened because you're not pushing the pixels as hard as you do with that white light passing through them. So technically, the burning issue will be less with a QD-OLED display, and also the life of the panel when it comes to QD-OLED should be longer than with a regular OLED TV. That is supposed to change with OLED-EX. OLED-EX is supposed to allow LG to add brightness and color to the display without sacrificing the saturation of the color, so without boosting that white light that goes through the color filters, and therefore giving burning issues a little less and boosting the life of the panel longer than it is now. And that's exactly what LG showed off this year at SID 2022. SID stands for Society for Information Display. That name, it's really hard to say. So let's stick with SID. At SID, LG showed off for the first time their OLED-EX technology at a whopping 97-inch TV. The new technology is supposed to also allow them to make bigger TVs. This TV, once again, is the first 97-inch OLED display ever, and it supports the newest LG technology being OLED-EX. This TV, of course, is probably never going to go on sale because they're showing it off to show what the technology can do. And the best way to do it is in a gigantic screen. The other thing that OLED-EX is supposed to give you natural colors versus, punchy, bright colors. So it should give you the best image as intended by the content creator. So what does this increase in 30% of brightness means for LG OLED TVs? Well, OLED-EX technically means that it's going to be able to reach up to 1,000 nits. Currently, the EVO technology reaches to about 800 nits. So this increase is going to be, again, around 1,000 nits. But that still puts the TVs behind Samsung's QD-OLED technology, which supposedly can reach up to 1,500 nits, making Samsung the king of brightness. But of course, brighter isn't always best because it also depends on how software tailors the image on that TV. As we've seen with some reviews of Samsung QD-OLED TVs, that Samsung is driving the image on that TV to be a lot brighter and a lot punchier when it comes to colors. And yes, the average consumer will be happy to see something like that, but people who are into calibrating their TVs and trying to extract the best, most accurate picture out of a TV aren't going to be very happy with what Samsung is doing. So there is that dilemma as well when it comes to this QD-OLED technology. We'll have to see once LG makes these TVs available in the market, and that isn't going to be until probably sometime next year. I'm thinking that we'll see this OLED-EX technology in displays sometime at CES. Because I'm thinking that if they stick with the EVO badging on their TVs, we're going to probably get a OLED G2 EX type of TV, or well, it wouldn't be G2, I guess it will be G3, right? So we'll have an OLED G3, OLED EX TV, and probably the C2, which most likely will be the C3, will stick with the OLED EVO, and then maybe they will even stick the EVO into the B2, which will be the B3 next year. So we will probably have that distinction going forward. We'll probably have, again, the G series having the EX technology, then the C series having EVO technology, and the B series having EVO technology. Because I'm thinking that whatever EVO technology is on the G series right now will move down to the C series, and whatever the C series EVO technology has will move to the B series. So we'll probably end up going that way to see how it competes with Samsung and what the processor in LG TVs can do versus the processor in Samsung TVs can do. And then that clash is going to happen, and we'll figure out who the actual king of OLED technology is. But so far on paper, it looks like Samsung is just going to run away with it. But hey, it's still early in this race, and We'll see who wins. What do you think about the newest Samsung QD-OLED TVs? Are you liking them? Have you been able to get your hands on one? From what you've seen so far on paper, are you excited to maybe get one of those, or maybe a Sony QD-OLED TV? And what do you expect from LG's OLED-EX technology? Do you think they'll be able to compete with Samsung? Let me know in the comment section. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. Thank you very much for watching.